guys, it's Laura here again, and today we'll be going over some hip flexibility mobility exercises so that you can generate more strength and more power for your lower body. So today we're going to be utilizing the foam roller to do a series of leg hip mobility exercises that are going to help to open up the hips in multiple planes. So whether you're a runner or whether you are a soccer player, basketball player, tennis player, you're doing something where you're moving around in different directions, or whether you're just trying to generate more power so that you can PR in your squats, get more height in your box jumps or anything like that. These are going to be great exercises for you to do either for a warm-up or for a standalone recovery day so that you can maximize the range of motion that your hips have so you can generate more power in what you're doing. All you'll need is a foam roller like the one that I have here, and I can link one in the description down below so that you can find one similar to what I have. This one has no ridges or grooves or anything like that. We are going to be using it to balance, and to make this series more challenging, what you can also do is use a Pilates small ball to balance underneath your tailbone, and maybe I'll show a variation of that one day. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if that's something you'd be interested in. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get started. So meet me with your foam roller or on your mat, or just go ahead and watch this so that you can kind of get a little bit of an understanding of it before you try it out yourself. Either way, we're going to get started. Okay, so the way that I am going to get into position here is I'm going to lay down in the center of my mat and gently come down to the floor here. So just situated. Okay, once I'm here, I'm going to bring the foam roller so that I can creep it underneath my tailbone just like that. So you could see that I had to do a little bit of a bridge to get it that way. And your hands can either go on top with straight wrists, they can hold on to the side, which I think is what I'm going to do today, or they can just come to the floor like so. I'm going to hold on to make sure that my foam roller stays secure here. So once you're here, you want to make sure that your hips, your tailbone's on evenly. So maybe we do a couple knee swings here where you stretch your knee almost like you're walking in place so that you feel like you're even on the back of your sacrum. So we're not on the lower back here. This is what it would look like if I were at my lower back. And I'm also not on my booty, because you'll see if it's on my booty, plop, it kind of slips away. So you find somewhere that's that happy medium in between, belly in to that lower back here, and you feel already a lengthening, a stretching here through the front side of your thighs and the front side of your hip flexors. I want you to carefully lift one leg up into tabletop and then lower it right back down. And here we start to just get accustomed to what it feels like to have the foam roller underneath our tailbone. We start to feel what it's like to get connected into our core, our center. So I feel my belly pulling in. It's coming in like I'm putting on a tight pair of pants. And it's also pulling downwards as well to support my lower back here. And you can see that I am evenly weighted through my tailbone on the foam roller. So I could have no hands and still be balanced here on my roller. I also want you to notice that the leg that's stabilizing me right now, it presses outwards just like it would in a bridge, feeling that glute contract at the bottom. And I want you to remember what that feeling is like for when we take our legs up in the sky. I'm going to do one more each side. I'm going to end with my left leg in the sky, and then I'm going to straighten it upwards towards the ceiling. So tailbone still grounded, my foot is still into the ground, so it's almost like I'm doing a bridge, but I keep my tailbone connected to the roller, And I feel already a stretching, a lengthening through the front side of my hip, through the front side of my thigh. This is already going to be helping to improve my hip flexibility, my hip mobility. Now we're going to work with this top left leg. It's going to go downwards towards the floor and then upwards towards the sky. And notice that I say it's going towards the floor, but not to the floor. I may be coming to about even with my leg that's closest to you, maybe a little bit below it, because I'm also thinking that the leg is reaching out on the horizon as well as downwards. And that's helping me to engage my glute on my left side, the side that's away from you, and also to help create space through the front side of the hip. I lengthen through my waist, my hip flexor, my thigh to feel that connection into my glute. So you almost think that this is kind of like your back leg swing on your running gait, your running stride. I'm going to do one more for 10. And then I bend the knee, place the foot to the floor, and I'm going to take my right leg back into tabletop and then stretch it upwards towards the sky. My left leg stays planted. I find that glute connection once again. So you should feel that nice ridge underneath your bottom and feel the back side of your leg working, because that's also going to help you stretch through the front side of your thigh. When this is contracting and turned on, this front side has no choice but to stretch out. Now your right leg is going to lengthen downwards. It's like I'm pushing out and down. And then I'm going to lift it up and pull the belly into the back. It's like someone's pulling on my ankle to give me a nice stretch through this side body. And then the leg goes right back up to the ceiling again. I'm also reaching through my hands, staying anchored through my upper back. So that means I'm standing in my upper back and not putting any weight through my head, my neck. 3 more here. And then after the last one, I'm going to bring that leg back down. I'm in my bridge position, reset. We're going to go back to the left side. The left side comes up to table. I'm going to stretch it upwards towards the sky. And I'm going to come downwards towards the ground. So now I try to find where I think even thigh bones are. Bend the knee, bring the knee in towards the chest. So now it kind of is like that running pattern, or maybe like a bicycling pattern through the leg. And I want to stay connected to my butt as my leg comes down and pull through my lower abs. And yes, a little bit of that hip flexor to bring that knee back up and over towards my chest. Last one here. We're doing 10 for each leg, and then on my way down, it plants, and my right leg comes up. And I didn't talk so much about it, but that stabilizing leg, it is working. It's stabilizing. You still have that single leg bridge-ish feeling going on so that you can stay connected to your butt, still have that stretch through your thigh, and have balance through your pelvis as you're going through your running, single leg running position. Last one here. We make it around half the circle. Bring your feet both planted to the floor. Shoulders are still open. I still have that weight through the back side of my chest. And then I want to see, can you lift one leg up and then the other, and then bring the legs together? I want you to stretch the legs up. So now this is when you really have to be engaged through your shoulders, your hands into the ground, or maybe your triceps into the ground. And I want to see, can you open the legs out wide to the side and then flex the feet and then come right back in. So now we work a little bit on ankle mobility too. Point your toes, open wide like you're going into the splits. Flex the feet and then pull it in and together. My belly, my gut is still pulling in towards my back, and my ribs are still cinched together. I point the toes through the tops of the feet, through the tops of the ankle, and flex and pull in and together. Good. So you get to stretch the inner thighs as you go wide, and you get to work the inner thighs as you come in. You get to Work through the outer hips as you come out, and as you engage through those inner thighs, what gets to stretch? What's on the opposite side? So it's on the IT band and your outer hips. Last two here. And one. Awesome job, you guys. Bend your knees into your chest. Rest your feet on down. And then from here, I'm going to have you slowly push that foam roller away and slowly melt your spine down to the ground. Because sometimes being in that inverted position, it can be not necessarily like a lot for your lower back, but what I mean is that as you rest that tailbone down into the ground, it feels different. Your lower back has to get accustomed to being kind of weighted through that tailbone and finding that connection once again to your lower back. This is more of a neutral spine here where I can get a little bit of space in between the mat and my spine, versus when our tailbone was up, we were in that tucked position and we were there for a very long time supporting our pelvis and our legs in space. And so we just want to gently settle it down into the ground as we come into that untucked position. Last exercise that we're going to do here, I'm going to have you take your feet onto the foam roller, and maybe you don't even use the foam roller for this exercise. That's okay, because here the foam roller gives us a little bit of feedback if it's going to roll away. We're actually pulling in through our hamstrings to lift up, or if we're kind of pushing away into our heels. Because if we push through our heels away, that foam roller is going to go away. We have nowhere to stand, right? All right. So find your arches onto the roller, find your palms into the ground, and open those shoulders down your back. I'm not squeezing them together. I'm just trying to lengthen through the collar and press into the triceps. And I just want 10 bridges here. And as you bridge up, you try to find once again that stretch through the thighs, the stretch through the hips, and then slowly you melt down, 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 one bone at a time. There's a lot of back muscles that connect into the top part of your pelvis, and so a lot of times if our pelvis is locked up, our hips are locked up, it could be because that lower back is tight. So you really want to exaggerate that melt down, 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 one bone at a time to open up the lower back. You tuck and lift up one bone at a time, so you get to open and stretch the lower back on the up as well. You just exaggerate the time that it takes to come up and down. That exaggeration not only increases that time under tension to help work the muscles, but also to help stretch. Whenever one side is working, its opposite side is stretching. Its antagonistic side is stretching. 3 more here. Palms down. Gaze is up. You want to make sure that your neck is light on the floor, right? I could lift my head up. I'm not going to, but I could. Trying to keep that foam roller steady, receiving the information that it has for you. Last one here. Good. And then let that foam roller roll away. Awesome. And just settle into the ground for all of that work you did. So you should already, laying on the ground, feel longer through the hips, feel longer through your spine. And you're all done. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun showing you that series. This series can get harder. We will spend more time with both legs up in the air. So if you like this video and you would like to see a harder progression of it, go ahead and drop a comment down in the below in the box so I can keep creating content for you so that you can become a better mover, have a healthier body, be pain-free, all of that jazz that just I feel like makes life more fun, right? No one likes to be in pain. It keeps us feeling limited. And if you're not already subscribed to my page, why not? Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the bell so that you can get the notifications of when new videos come up. And if we're not connected on social media, connect with me. I love to live on Instagram. That is where I put more daily updates about how you can maximize your fitness, your wellness, your nutrition. So let's go ahead and get connected there if we're not already. I'll catch you guys next time. If you have any special requests for the next video, go ahead and drop it down in the comments below. Or like I said, you can message me on Instagram or on Facebook. I'll see you guys next time.